correspondence to the appropriate company's website and or business address.
Gotcha. Can I see it?
Yeah.
Hey. I'm gonna start freestyling. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Welcome to the Parenting Connections radio broadcast with Dr. Tyra Hodge. Dr. Hodge is an author, speaker, the founder and president of Parenting Connections, whose mission is to strengthen families. She has been an educator for over 15 years, and Parenting Connections is a 501c3 nonprofit organization.
True.
Now, let's join Dr. Tyra Hodge for today's radio broadcast.
I'm here. Hey. What's up?
Welcome
What's up?
to my favorite day of the week. This is my favorite day of the week. Now, I missed y'all for a couple of weeks because I was on Christmas holiday vacation.
True.
We were on holiday vacation, spending time with grandkids, spending time with family, opening up presents. I got presents this year because I now have a couple of adult children, so that was awesome.
Facts.
Still got some at home, but
Who's at home?
The two young two.
They're not adults. They're still little.
No, I said I still got some at home, but I have some. I got presents for my adult kids.
Oh, I thought you were trying to play me. I thought you said I was still living with you.
Okay, so I have a special guest for you today. I have a special co-host with me today. This is Nicole Wilson. I should know her name. This is Nicole Wilson.
That's all me, baby.
What? Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, Kurt. Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do like rolling things, so I'm just gonna go with the Kurt. Keep it straight like that.
Yeah. So I got Nicole Wilson in the house.
Yes, I'm in his house.
She is here. And so she is a co-founder of Hodge and Wilson Resilience.
Sure am. How do you think I get these curls, girl?
And so I wish I would have brought some samples so people could see.
Yeah.
And so I should have had some so people, if they wanted to come by the radio station and get some. But maybe next week. We'll have some. If you
I'll bring some.
You can have some free hair product.
And for the men, we got some beard oils too. Get that beard looking straight.
And so, but I really brought her in here to tell her story. Nicole didn't have it easy growing up, and I can say that because I was her mother.
Aww.
And so let's talk about, this is Parenting Connections. And so I like to keep it real. The one thing I do want you to understand is that technical difficulty right there.
Yes.
That Doc Hodge, is not perfect.
Yeah.
She is not perfect.
And it's okay. Nobody's perfect. Nobody is perfect. Okay?
Jesus was perfect.
Okay, Jesus was perfect. That's
God
true.
is perfect.
God is perfect. But parents are not perfect.
Parents are not perfect.
And it's okay. Sometimes. Not
your children will not be perfect.
Your children definitely ain't gonna be perfect either.
You know what? So I'm virgin heading out of my 40s right now. And so some of the people that were raised with me or when I go back and talk to the parents of these people that I grew up with, every now and then when I say, hey, how is so-and-so? I get like this glanced over eye look. Just like that. It kind of looked just like that. And years ago, I want to say about 25 years ago, when I would ask that question to somebody and I get that look, I thought it curious, but I didn't know what that meant. Now, 25 years later, having been a behavior specialist for all these years, working with students and parents, running a couple of different nonprofits for families, I know that look means something.
It definitely means something.
Now, when I've come face to face with another educator, when I, anybody that does really well on test scores and stuff throughout the years. Now, I'm not telling on nobody. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying throughout the years, you're talking about 15 plus going on 16. I would ask, certain people, so how do you do it? I'm always trying to get tips to put them in the back pocket. Sometimes I got that glanced over eye look. I'm gonna leave it I'm gonna leave it right there.
Glanced over eye.
I'm gonna leave that right there. So the moral of the story with the glanced over eye look, when I would
glanced over eye.
when I would talk to these parents, was that their child may not have been doing as well as they wanted.
Yeah.
And so as a parent, I haven't always done as well as I wanted. The whole parenting process is a learning process.
Definitely.
So is life.
Yes.
It's all a learning process. And so, by the time you get to child number 4, you pretty much have it figured out. Number 1, you don't know what the heck you doing.
No.
You've been listening to people, reading magazines, reading books, and none of them knew what they were talking about.
That's true.
Because that wasn't your child.
Not exactly. Everybody has their own perspective of how parenting should be, and you just kind of have to go with your gut, really, and you just have to make mistakes.
And you just hope it's not a mistake that has you losing your children or hurting your children or scarring your children.
Absolutely.
Or, doing something like that.
Yeah, not like mistakes like that, but mistakes like maybe you shouldn't have been so hard on them about something, or maybe you should have let some things go, or things like that, or maybe I should have made more snacks for her, things like that. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about.
The things that,
I should have punched his left face and not the right, nothing, not abusive stuff like that.
Punching my
I'm saying not that type of stuff. That's not the mistakes we're talking about here. I'm talking about messing up their lunch or something, or being a little too hard, or, different, how
not being hard enough,
or things like that. Exactly.
And so, and there's a balance and with every child being different, you don't always know what to do or what's right. And so there is so much trial and error. If you're out there today, we are broadcasting from Periscope, YouTube, here at the radio station, Rhema Gospel Radio 101.5, Cypress, Texas. You can catch it online. We streaming there. We're on YouTube. We're on a couple of different Facebook pages. If you're there and you have a question or a comment, put it in there. We want to talk to you. You follow us. We want to see what you're up to. We want to know your questions. We want to hear from you. So put it in the chat.
Absolutely.
Right? Absolutely. And so Nicole and I are in discussions.
We're in discussions.
We're in discussions.
Like I do for college.
And so in discussions in those chat rooms, because it's COVID, everything was chat. And so we're in discussions about her co-hosting and the show with me.
We're thinking about that. So if y'all like me,
y'all gotta hit it in the comments.
Put it in the comments. You mess with me, I'm your dog. No, I'm just kidding. But in the comments, just let her know. You think I'm better than her?
Put it in the chat.
If I'm better, no, I'm just kidding.
Put it in the chat.
No, I'm just kidding.
You know what? A good parent always wants their children to succeed. Though.
She always trying to say the right stuff. Look at her.
And so
it was a joke.
I get paid to say the right stuff.
True. So
anyway, this is supposed to be an interview. This is supposed to be interviews. So yeah, on the spot. And so I called. I was in a training all day long about threat assessments.
About what?
Threat assessments.
Threat assessments.
And so that is somebody threatened that may threaten to kill somebody else.
Oh, threat assessment.
Yes. Oh. Or themselves, and how to assess that. That's something I've had to do all these years. And don't get all emotional.
Oh, I get emotional.
And so there were times when I had to do my own homemade threat assessments on you.
Nice.
And so, so this is the thing. We're gonna go on. But I told Nicole I want her to tell her testimony.
Okay.
And so there was a moment, we had some struggles.
We definitely had some out in the yard tussle struggles.
Yes, some out in the yard tussle struggles. And so we did.
We made the Suburbans the hood at a point, okay?
Yeah, there was that man that lived across the street talking about you Section 8, you Section 8, H.
But I knew my mom, okay? We all had my mom's back, okay? Even my little friend, okay?
He was yelling across the street, you a Section 8. I was like, we're living
how
in the
are we
Suburbans.
going to be Section 8 in the hood? Let me know that in the comments. How are we going to do that? But
okay, let's talk about growing up.
Okay, sure. Let's do it.
Nicole was a sweet child. At the age of 3, I noticed that she had a voice. And so that voice, we listened to that voice develop. And so you want to hit him with a phone?
Nah, I'm good. Okay. We'll do that another day. Y'all, this is exclusive right here. These vocals, yeah.
And so
exclusive.
I noticed at 3 that she had a voice. And that was wow. And so, but being the single mom that I was not able to help her develop that. Now she developed stuff on her own. She's had some tracks. She has some tracks on SoundCloud. I
got some tracks.
Tell them about some of your tracks so they can hear them.
My SoundCloud is called
Hey Angela Lewis.
Nicole Tiffany.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, sorry.
I'm sorry. Hey Angela.
Hey girl. Tune in, girl. There's some good stuff happening. But yes. So I have some tracks on SoundCloud. I go by the name of Nicole Tiffany. It is my first name and my middle name. So if you want to, be nosy and snoop on me, really, you want to go behind my back and just
be snooping.
Y'all be snooping. Y'all want to go behind my back and do great things for me? Do that. Yeah. So that. Yes, on SoundCloud. Thank you.
Maybe we can post that. We can post that in the description.
We might just do that. I might just put y'all on some good music.
So
I'm warning you. It's fire. It's good. Okay.
Is there any cussing in it? Do I have to worry about? There's some cussing, huh? So
there's no cussing actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
Actually not.
So I can post it. I can post it.
What? Nicole without the trashy mouth?
I'm not saying that you have a trashy mouth, but some of that stuff you recorded when you were a young teenager.
Mm-hmm. And it's a couple years old. I'm actually going to be doing some new stuff, so tune into that soon. If you look at my Instagram, I will do some follow-ups.
So how do they follow you on Instagram?
So what you gotta do is you gotta take out your handy dandy notebook phone, okay? And then you go to your. Why do people call it Finsta or something? There's another way that people. I don't know. Finsta. I don't know what Finsta is. Okay, we're going to Instagram, and then I don't know what Finsta is.
Angela's gonna snoop anyway. Thank you, Angela.
Okay, look, y'all see, I don't got no signal right now, so don't roast me. You're gonna see it's gonna say no internet connection, but I got Metro. Okay.
I'm getting Metro. That's how
See, it's loading. All right, but that's my user right there. Starbucks in pink. Yeah, and in for Nicole. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to get this. Okay, this is how we're gonna. This is gonna take a turn. We're gonna take a turn like this for this interview. Okay, so being a child of a single parent.
I'm nervous.
Okay.
What you finna?
No, I'm not gonna
reach out of it.
Okay, you just never know.
Never know. Never.
As being the parent of being the child of a parent that was a single parent, I know it was tough for you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go there with this interview. Let's talk about the toughness, because a lot of parents don't know what their children are really going through. And educators sometimes don't know what children are really going through, because people like to blame behaviors on parents.
True.
And I don't believe in doing that.
I don't think so. I don't think that's.
And people like to blame behaviors on all these different things. And so I've been reading this book and called The Deepest Well, and it talks about trauma upon trauma upon trauma upon trauma.
I already start shaking like naturally when I start talking about anything that has to do with my past. I hate it. So if I sound like I'm getting jittery and nervous and stuff, it's just something that always happens to me when I talk about my past. I don't know why. It just happens. I just like somebody that's drank too much coffee and gets jitters. That's exactly what happens to me.
And the reason why sometimes people don't get free is because they don't talk about it. See, they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of the testimony. Shaking. And so, but I believe that you're going to get free some today.
Okay,
yeah, you've been getting free.
What
God's been working on you.
I hate when this happens.
So, okay, so being that, tell me the struggle of that. Because it was the daddy issues. I had the same thing. I had daddy issues.
Okay, so with my dad's, I'm getting like shaky, but okay, so I grew up with my older brother Caleb first. That's my older brother. I'm the second child, and I met my stepdad. My mom's gonna argue me down, but I met my stepdad when I was 3. Okay, I remember having my 4th birthday with him. I swear. Okay, so
she was 3.
I was 3. Okay. But
so he was her dad. So at 3 years old, that's who she called.
He raised
dad.
Me. On it, he was in and out of my life a lot, but that's who I knew as that. Okay. So oh my goodness, he I believe he loved me, but I still kind of question it because I don't know if it was, sometimes I used to think it was because I wasn't his real child that I would be treated a little bit different. But I'm seeing today, I don't know if that's still the case because I see what goes on with his actual kids, my little brother and sister. I see that he's still not around. He's still not doing better for them as well. So it's, he was in and out of my life for a long time from the very beginning. I had to witness so much stuff that I hate. I had to witness him bringing drug heads around us a lot and leaving us places. There's this one time that I was with my little sister and we were supposed to be dropping off food to his mother. And he told us that he was going to be right back, that he was going to go to the corner store, but he was speaking in Spanish, which he never does. So I knew something was off about that from the beginning. And I left my phone in there, but nothing was ever safe around my dad. Nothing. We couldn't have anything. Like my mom couldn't have nothing. Nobody could have nothing because he would take our stuff.
I could not be in the hospital having this man's children without him going to pawn something.
Mm-hmm. He was always taking our stuff. He took our Christmas presents. He's pawned our stuff. Like we couldn't have anything. Anything my mom had done for us, he would take it and just sell it for drugs. So
yeah, I really didn't know that she remembered all that, and so you're like, so now y'all are staring at me as a parent, saying, "How could you let this happen?" Well, I'm like Jada Pickett. It was an entanglement. And you know, I wanted a father for my kids. I cared for this man that always said that he loved me and loved the kids.
He got us all. It was very hard to. He was very charming, and he had a definite way with his words. He was very good with his words. He used to always tell me he was going to be back for my birthday, and he was going to make it up. My birthday came around, and he was gone for months. I remember watching the news with my mom, trying to see if he was going to make it home or if he was going to be dead. We didn't know because he would disappear for months.
He disappeared. He was a magician.
He was gone. I mean, we couldn't have nothing decent. There's this one time, I remember having to sit and hide the keys from him because he was high. and he was coming in the house, barging in there, looking for my mom's keys, and my mom was scared, and she asked me to hide the keys underneath the couch so I would sit on top of him so he wouldn't get them. He was going crazy looking for them, and he was trying to manipulate me to get them. Like I said, he had a way with his words. Mama, you can tell me where the keys are, sweetheart. I'm not going to do nothing. And we already knew what he was going to do with those keys. He was going to take my mom's car and sell it.
And so the thing is that the young and stupid thing sometimes does not end when you turn 18. Sometimes it goes on to you're like 28 years old. And so I think that, anybody can get the case of the stupids. And I did. I was very deceived.
For sure.
Probably naive because I didn't understand the working of illegal drugs.
Yeah.
And how far a soul can be stolen by the use of them. And so I did not understand that. And like she said, we were fooled many times. We wanted to believe the best. I wanted to believe, somebody that had a strong faith, and, I probably made a real decision, to follow Christ in the midst with him, and just always wanted to believe the best. And so for Nicole, I watched her get hurt a lot, especially when I decided that I was no longer, I was worth more than what he was putting out. But I always wanted him to be able to have a part of in the kids' life. And so this is where I say drama, but a lot of the acting out.
I felt second to everybody. Like, I always wanted someone to, put me first. So I wanted, and in relationships, I have that problem to this day because I want someone to prove so much to me, even if they're doing it, I can't see it because all I've seen is someone putting me last growing up. And not my mom. I don't mean my mom by that. I mean, like in a male figure.
And we're in an open forum. And she said, I could see, her nervousness and her body language and stuff like that. And she has no problems calling, on anything. She has no problem calling.
Nah.
And if I'm full of stuff, she's the first one to tell me. She's the first one to tell me. She is. And I say that she's my strong-willed child. She is.
But I've calmed these nerves a lot.
And
but still,
so she's not
I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything.
She won't sugarcoat.
I'm not going to make nobody look good for nothing.
And so when I tell you.
I just understand. Like, there's some things you don't understand when you're younger, then you get older and experience something like that.
Or you have children of your own.
And you have children of your own. And you see, and you regret being a butthead when you're a kid.
And so in her defense, and this was a process of stuff that I had to learn, and also with prayer and trembling of my own, there was times that we would be having, I don't know how to say it, but she'd be acting out, right? And it would get bad, but I could not understand why, why. And so there was 2 different times, and each time she was a little bit older. And so I do have a gift of discernment. That's probably why I've been successful in employment, no matter whether it was waiting tables or working for the school districts. And so I have that gift. Let me turn off my phone because somebody will be calling next. And so I have that. So I decided just to ask the Lord and to ask, could you please show me her heart? I had to ask him that twice on Nicole. I said, could you please just show me her heart, because I'm just not understanding. And I remember doing the first time, and both times immediately, and this is how sometimes discernment will work for me sometimes, my heart immediately broke. And then this one time I wanted to tear her behind up. And matter of fact, I was getting ready to, and she knows that I stay calm. I have kept my job all these years working with emotionally disturbed young people. And I really don't like that term, but that's the term they use in the school district. I think that we need to come up with something else, because I really don't like that word.
It's not.
But that's not something that I've made up. That's just something that that's a common term. So I've witnessed, dealt with some of the most extreme cases, of behavior, and I stay calm. So this particular time, I was like, it's time to tap that behind. It's time. And so not perfect, but most of the time people were like, I don't know how you can stay calm. Not so much with her, just in the job or whatever, but with her, it's just stay, I stay calm. And so, but this time I was like, you know what? I said, Lord, I just, please just show me your heart. And in that moment, my heart broke. And all of a sudden I could breathe. And I just felt all the hurt and all the pain. And all of it was stemming because of daddies.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow.
Yep.
And I remember that day getting up out of my chair. We were living in the old house in Houston. And I remember just going to her room, and she was just ready. She thought I was ready to come, just engaged. She was ready. And I said, look, your dads suck.
They do.
And I'm so sorry they have hurt you, because I didn't understand the behavior. And so it took the Holy Spirit showing me that that's what this was about, because she would never say nothing about that. She would never say anything about that. The fights would be, around. It would be projected in some
type of different
other type of way. It would be projected. But I felt everything in me broke. And my gosh, I was, I was in, I don't know, late 30s, early 40s or whatever. And so she may have been like 13 or 14 this first time. And so she felt like that then, just being a young person, man, those are a lot of feelings that, a young person has to go through. I mean, it was a lot. So she was dealing with this. She was dealing with her stepdad, the one that she called dad, feeling rejection from that. And then this particular time, it may be one of those times to where the kids were going on, my younger two children were going on visitation, and she wasn't allowed to go.
Yeah.
And so, and that hurt, that always hurt her a lot. And I always was punished for that. Yeah. And so,
with that, I hated that. I still hate it to this day. Like, give me a second, because I don't want to cry. I'm not gonna be able to talk. But
and then and Nicole didn't find out who her biological father was until she was 11 years old.
Yep.
And so there was issues there, because Nicole didn't know anybody else. She had an allegiance to her to her stepdad.
And I felt like I was betraying him too. So I didn't know what to do, because like I would finally give up on my stepdad and be like, you know what? He doesn't love me. He's not trying to even see me. And every time he tells me something, he does the opposite. and it's just terrible. And then so I'm trying to get used to my dad, and he has a huge ego.
And then all he had to do is like, why do I have to pay child support?
Yeah.
Child support.
Yeah.
And so that would make her feel bad.
I really didn't know what to do about that. And he's always telling me he's a good man. And I tried to see that, but we just bumped heads too much. He didn't understand me. He didn't understand my past. So he's trying to understand today, and we're okay, right? We're great actually right now. I hope it lasts long because we argue a lot, but pray for us because we need it. But
and they need each other. I believe that they really do need each other.
I do love my dad. I call him dad now. I've completely, I want to say all the way, but I'm majorly given up on Daniel, I guess.
I wasn't trying to call nobody's name out. I was not trying to say no name.
I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, I'm trying to give up on my stepdad. Well, not even my stepdad anymore, but the dad. I'm pretty much giving up on that, and just let that go because that's going nowhere but hurt.
You got to give it to God.
I still love him to death. I love him.
It breaks their heart too, and I tell them. Because I really don't hold any ill will. Yeah. It just taught me some things, It taught me some things. It's helped me in my job. It helped me in my job. Everything's a learning process.
True.
Everything you can learn from. If you're smart enough, you'll learn from these mistakes and you'll grow. And so I've grown a lot since then. The younger kids, I'd never spoke ill of their father, is now their
own
team.
They have their own opinions. So she's just basically let us, even me, when I would be crying or be upset about what's going on, she still didn't speak ill of him. So that's, I had my own opinion. I had to see a lot of their arguments and things and stuff that I didn't need to see or want to see. But unfortunately, that kind of happens sometimes. It's nothing that she wanted to happen. I'm positive nobody wanted us to see that. But
so hey, Terry Hodge, and so. Some people get happy endings.
Some people get happy endings. Yep.
And so,
but yeah.
Terry Hodge says everything happens for a reason, and you darn skippy.
You're darn skippy.
You're darn skippy because I was able through this man's mess ups. I was able to meet the love of my life. I did.
Bang.
So Nicole, let's talk about it. And I've been there with you. I've been there when you say that you felt all you wanted was somebody to choose you.
Yeah.
And I have to believe that there's more. There's a ton of people out there that feel the same way. You know why? Because I've always felt that way.
Really?
No, I don't feel that way now because even with that, with my gifts and stuff like that, you don't use them to, for personal gain or something like that, but for the protection of my heart and my children, I'd ask that question, Lord, show me their heart. And, with Terry's, all I got was I got love. And so I had always wanted just to have somebody choose me, be willing to fight for me, that wanted me above all else. Mm-hmm. And so I sure would hate to be wrong on that, but I think, and so that's something that I think everybody wants. That's what God wants.
Mm-hmm.
The creator of the universe wants us to choose him. He wants us to be ready to sacrifice, to lay down everything for him.
It's true.
And sometimes, there's many, many blessings that come with that. We think of Job. And when Satan went to God and said, have you considered your servant Job?
That's exactly how those little prophet things. I watched this little cartoons for my kids, so they can learn about Jesus, and that's exactly how God sounds in there. Like exactly.
That's right. And I said, wait a minute, I said Satan, but God. God said. Did I say God said, or did I say Satan?
I heard you say. I thought.
Okay,
you said
so God said, have you considered my servant Job? And so in considering Job, Satan said, well, Job only praises you because you put a hedge of protection around him. He rich, he got children, he got a wife. And so, God allowed Satan to take everything from Job, but not to take his life.
Angela saying,
what's she saying?
We all want someone to choose us. I was just typing, imagine how God feels if we feel this way. How much more does God feel this? We want to feel valuable to someone.
Yes. Yeah. And so we want to feel valuable to that significant other. We want to feel valuable. I want to feel valuable to God. Mm-hmm. Because, the way I see it, when you're not useful to him is that if you're alive right now, if you are breathing right now, if you're able to move around or communicate with other people. Now, if you're sick, I'm sorry, you still have a purpose for God. So that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that if you're not, but if you're alive right now, you have value to God. And right now, he wants you to choose. He wants, yes.
That's where my value. So that's where I feel valuable.
To your children, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. You're so valuable to both children.
That's where.
And so, and so, yeah, absolutely. And so if God wants us to value him, but he don't need nobody else. He could have the words. The rocks could cry out in worship to the Lord. I mean, the whole world, echoes, and the Bible talks about it, how every knee will bow and every is going to rejoice, and we're going to say Jesus is king. He's going to be our king forever. But God created us to worship him because he wanted that communion with God. So why wouldn't we want to be valued by somebody else?
Exactly.
Yeah. And he said, in the garden, and it's not good for man to be alone. And then he created.
I'm sorry, but you're gonna be lonely, boo. You're gonna have to pray or something. You can't you're gonna be lonely for a little bit.
And so, sometimes we do go through that. We go through that time when we're set apart. Mm-hmm. And but that's a time that we can use to draw close to our Creator. Mm-hmm. And so this is,
that's sort of how I drew closer to God. I feel like
let's talk about this transformation, because you had some bad things happen.
I definitely had some bad things happen.
She put her trust in a baby daddy.
Yes, I did. But I'm not going to make him famous on here. No. So we're going to just call him Baby Daddy. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. We're just going to say my child's thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Father.
Dad. Yeah.
And he took off and left. He moved out of state.
We moved to Chicago together.
And he sent her back home on a plane with the baby.
Yep, he did.
And so
he was supposed to come back here to Texas, actually. He was supposed to come to Texas, and we were supposed to live our lives together and all this blah, 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 blah stuff. I was young. I was dumb, very dumb, because, when you've think you're in love, you do anything. I know y'all have heard that over and over again, but when you think you're in love, you'll do anything. And I was definitely the type of ride or die person for anybody. Like for any love, if I love you even just a little bit, I'll do everything I can for you. And my mom is very distracting right now. So rude. No, I'm just kidding. But so we went to Chicago.
Oh, go ahead, finish it.
Okay, so we went to Chicago, and we went to Chicago. Sorry, they was doing a little cut action film making and stuff in the background. So yeah, we did that, and then I ended up coming back in 2 weeks. Yeah, girl, I know. But that was basically the end of our entire relationship because it just wasn't good, and I was crying for 3 months straight. I mean, every single day.
Okay, so we're about to take a time. We're taking a time out. We got a break.
Break.
KOERLP 101.5 FM, Cypress, Texas.
All right, we back. That's all you get.
Oh, that's it?
Yep.
Oh, that was
the
easy.
bills.
Okay. So yeah. Anywho, we broke up. I was miserable and sad and crying.
That's it. I was gonna say that was good.
Right.
All right, just keep talking. Go ahead and tell your story.
Okay.
This is time.
They're confusing me right now. I don't know what's going on. Like, help me. Come up here and
I'm doing some station stuff.
Okay. But yeah, so I was crying. I was in Sadville with my little baby, and I just really didn't know what to do. I put everything into this guy. I mean everything. That was my first love, my first everything you can think of, okay? And I just really loved him. I loved him so much, and but he was done. He was done with me and my crazy babies, okay? He didn't love me anymore, and that just made me crazy. It made me so sad. Like, it just made me, because that's the only love I felt. That's the only love I thought I had. But I had my baby. Mm-hmm. So I started trying to go to school after that, but I was just so caught up in the whole heartbreak thing. I just felt like I couldn't do anything. So I like completely isolated myself. I had to get some help, and my child had, she was going to her grandmother's, and oh my goodness, there's like a whole thing with that. I don't want to deliberate her name or anything, so I'm not gonna say.
Not me, grandma.
Not her.
Not Mimi.
Definitely not Mimi. But I had to deal with a lot already beforehand. So I had to deal with the fact that I had a crazy grandma. The girl, well, since the dad wasn't even in, since the dad already wasn't in the life, I was still dealing with someone that wanted a child, which was his mother. She wanted a child, so she was telling me that my baby was her child. And I had to deal with a lot of craziness while I was living there, like the grandma coming in there while I'm sleeping and taking the baby while I'm sleeping. I'm waking up out of breath, scared because my baby's gone in the middle of the night, and just crazy stuff. I told her she can't be around the baby because she doesn't respect my boundaries or the baby's boundaries and things like that. And I just had a lot of boundary issues. She took away first everything that I wanted to do with my child. She took that from me. And I just felt like I was second to my own kid. Like I couldn't have any space with my own child. I wanted, when we were broken up, she demanded that she see the baby, or she was taking me to court, and she was acting like the baby was going with the dad, but it was really with her. And if I didn't give her the baby, I would be going to jail. That's in our stuff. So it's just so much mess. So I felt like I was coming second to my kid. I couldn't be my own child's mother. And it just made me feel like the little love that I did have was being taken away. Like the love that I could give my own kid, I felt like I couldn't, because I felt like I was being held hostage from my own child, and I couldn't.
But what I was gonna say is about that is that all these issues from
it
her
was
past,
so many things
that
happening one after another. So my dad and my mom, I think they're getting back together forever this time. They get remarried, and I'm happy. Again, I think everything's gonna work out.
Because he was
all thought,
oh, Jesus, and
we thought everything was gonna be okay again. We already had enough trauma from them getting back together and breaking up and all that, and him lying to us so much. I mean, just all the lies. It was just too much. And so we're thinking he's gonna get back. He's gonna be back. So he goes on some trip, and we're like, where's Dad? Why isn't he back yet? This already feels familiar. This already feels familiar. And it's been two years they've been together straight, finally. Like, they were together, and we were a family for 2 years. That was like a world record for us, okay? So we thought it was for real. Like, they got married and got divorced, and then got married in 2 years strong. Everything, they were good. Like, they were married, and I mean, there was fights, of course, but marriage don't have fights, you know? But that came to a quick ending. It's my dad. He likes to fight with himself.
I don't fight.
He likes to yell and be drama. You know, he's drama.
Look at you.
But she doesn't. I don't really recall her yelling at anybody but me.
I just look at you. And every once in a while, just, you know what? It has to be a whole lot of stress and many years coming before I just.
I'm not attacking you.
That's it. That I snap. I'm not even talking about you.
I know. I'm just saying.
I'm just having, I don't know what that's about.
What's that?
I don't know. That was this person right here. I don't know what Vanessa was trying to say. And so, do you know her?
I don't think so.
Okay. We're just going to block that because we don't talk about
Okay, that's nice. So, thanks, anyway, Vanessa. But, yeah. So, aside from that,
okay, so you had your baby, you started getting stuff together, getting your life together, but there comes this point, you still have some other, emotional stuff going on, but there comes this point, you got 6 minutes to tell how you came back when you snapped and said, you know what, something has to give. I got to make sure that my kids are happy and healthy.
Basically, what snapped in me was just my first child. I started getting some type of space with her, and I mean, still have that drama, but I started getting some type of space with my own child, and I just knew that I wanted the best for her. I knew that I didn't want to grow up. I didn't want her to grow up the way I grew up. Everybody wants the best for their kids. They want better than whatever they had. So I didn't want it to be unstable, and I didn't want to struggle. I don't want to struggle for my children. I want them to have everything that they need and want when the time comes, but need right now. But so, that's basically what it was. I wasn't really on the whole God thing in a while, which was very weird because I grew up in a Christian home, and I grew up as God number one. I've always loved God. Like, it's always been a thing. But after I went from being pretty much homeless, I kind of went some type of like spiritual route. I just felt like, I don't know. And I ended up getting an apartment finally, my own apartment with my little girl. And I was gonna go to college. I went for like just a tad bit, and then I end up having another child. And I just felt like I still wasn't where I needed to be at. And I just wanted better for myself and for my kids. I just wanted to be able to be someone that they can count on. I want them to know that whatever they need and want, that they can trust me to be there. Because as their mom, I need to be able to provide. I need to be able to do what's right, do what I can for them. And I need to give them at least, give them something. I have to be doing everything, I have to do everything I can. That's where my ambition came from. That's where my love started to fill in more, is where I was like, I need to do everything I can for these two little girls. I need to be better. I was so angry before I had them. Like, I was angry at the whole world, and now I cry when I talk, which is not something I would do. I was angry. I mean, I cried when I talked back then, but I was very angry. I was a very angry person, and after I had Madeline, I just became more loving, and I guess showed my feelings more after I had her. Because I didn't do that. I didn't talk about my feelings, and I didn't care for them. They kind of made me angry, like knowing that they were there. That's not so much. I came to understanding. I had some therapy, like with myself, really, just praying and times with myself and my kids, and I just knowing that I had my child, knowing that I knew I had no choice but to do better, was my kids. My kids, pretty much. I got into college and I finished my first semester
by herself.
By myself.
She did all that.
And I just know that I want better for my children.
And made good grades her first semester. I'm very proud.
Yes.
Very proud.
But
very proud.
Yes, my kids. That's my saving grace. And some people are like, oh my God, you had kids so young. Like, I'm like, they saved me. That's what my mom says. But they literally saved me. If I did not have my kids, if I didn't have Madeline, there's no telling what would have happened to me. I was so angry. I could be in jail or something. Like, I was going off on any and everybody all the time. Anybody could have got it. Even people watching this. No, I'm just kidding. But I was just off the board. I was off the chain. Like, anybody could get it. Anybody. And I was just so hurt. I was just so troubled and broken, So,
yeah.
My kids.
And so, Nicole's life ain't perfect.
It's not
perfect. But, it's a lot better.
And
she has some goals. And tell us about your business.
Okay, so y'all, I got some hair products, right? We have the serum. We have actually two serums. We have a beard oil and we have a hair oil. And you just put it in your hair and it like grows. You put it in your hair and it grows. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it does that for real. So I had like bad breakage and stuff like that in my hair because obviously I've had two kids. I mean, you're gonna see that. And then
she just cut off all her hair.
I just cut my hair off
because what it is that they get this confidence after growing their hair. Then because her little sister's like, Mom, I would think I want to dye my hair this color. I was like, dude, you just
drew it.
You taking care of it, and then you get all confident. It's like, let's do this to it,
and mess it up. Basically, they said something about. Okay, so I don't know if y'all know anything about dyeing about 40D. Yeah, I did that to my hair. I bleached it. I fried it like a Krabby Patty.
So So
but
it's
way better now because my hair oil.
Well, we're getting ready to end the show. You're gonna see me and Nicole again.
Bye.
And so we'll see you next week. This is
Like
kind of an unconventional show, but we'll see you next week. Meaning,
not her saying, "Whom are you?" She used the Bible terms when she's cussed us out. I just want y'all to recognize that. She said, "Whom are you speaking to?" Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Parenting Connections radio broadcast with Dr. Tyra Hodge. We hope something was said to enlighten and strengthen you and your family. If you have questions, you may reach Parenting Connections via email at info@parentingconnections.net. Join Dr. Tyra Hodge next week for another powerful broadcast.
They can't hear me, can they?
they can't, but they can.
My name is Nicole.
So, yeah,
I got a phone.
that's all you got.
You're listening to Rhema Gospel
You see how she
Radio.
do me in front of everybody? In front of all 4 people?
Streets.
Not right.
There.